That's not for the room. Please rise. Today is the 20th day of March in the year 2024. The Frisco Municipal Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Ron Carlson presiding.
Please be seated. Thank you. And that'd be great, Patty, if you just interpret as I go along. And be ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, our March session. For many of you, it's the first time in court, or at least the first time in this court. Court procedures require essentially I go through a checklist of questions and statements in handling each case. These are designed to, one, inform you why you're here. Secondly, to make sure you understand your legal rights and your options, and then to get to actually disposing of the case in one way or another. When I say disposing of the case, I want to emphasize that everybody has an absolute right to contest the charges against them, and everybody has an absolute right to have a trial. Though many people choose to talk to the prosecutor about a compromise which will resolve the case without a trial, and you're also free to do that. If at any point you think you have a question about the legal proceedings or the legal meaning, let me know and I will try to explain things or provide a more detailed definition. If you feel you need time to go talk to an attorney, we can reschedule your case for our next session, which will be 2 months from now. All right, that being said, it appears the first case I have, if I can read and pronounce correctly, it looks like it's Shavala Heron Morito. Is that close? And at this point, Patty, I do need to give the interpreter's oath now that we're doing an individual case. Do you solemnly swear you will faithfully translate each and every word stated verbatim from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Sir, you're in court because it's alleged you violated 2 sections of the model traffic code. First, it's alleged you violated section 603, which is failure to obey a traffic control device. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Then I'm required to advise you of the maximum penalty. And the maximum penalty is 4 points on your driving record and a possible fine of up to $2,650. Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And the second reason you were here, it was alleged you violated section 1409. No proof of insurance. You understand that, right?
Yes, I do.
And the maximum penalty on that is 4 points on your driving. And a possible fine of $2,650. And there's a minimum fine of $500. The state legislature has to prove. Unless you've gotten insurance since then, which could be reduced to half the. And now that I look at this more closely in some of the sticky notes on it, I see that you were already pled on this. And this was, there's 2 things you're here for. One is you were supposed to make payments of $625 in January and $200 in February. And this was set for a restitution hearing for today about the amount of restitution due to the other side, because there was an accident here, and the question is what damages, so we're.
Your Honor, the prosecutor informed me that the victim does not wish to seek restitution. And he hasn't mentioned it, but he told me he had paperwork to that regard.
Okay.
I think it just,
All right. All right, well, I guess the restitution hearing's been canceled, so. And then I have one more note that, you apparently talked to the clerk at some point, and, your reason for not paying is, medical, and you were asking for a doctor's note or to appear to. So, that reduces the fact of why you're here is to, what we call a show cause hearing, for you to explain, why you've not made payments and, when you can make payments. Or do you wish a hearing to contest the fact that you didn't pay?
I don't understand really.
Sure. Did you admit that you did not pay?
Usted admitió que hizo eso. That's accident. Yes, I did.
Okay. You have a right to say, yes, I did, and there's a mistake. And so I just want to know if you admit that you didn't pay.
Sí, sí, admití que lo hice, pero fue un error.
Okay.
Que es tomar, por eso le está explicando que si quisiera desmentir, que dijo que quisiera. No, I don't wanna contest.
All right. Are you back to work?
¿Está trabajando otra vez? No.
When do you expect to be back to?
¿Cuándo espera usted volver a regresar al trabajo? Well, the medical exams told me that I can't work until a year. Didn't say por qué.
All right, well, what I think can be done, is that you can do some community service instead in the meantime.
Entonces lo que usted pudiera hacer por mientras es servicio a la comunidad.
This means working for a charity because they can use people to answer phones, they can do things that are not lifting, not so much physical labor.
Dice que las organizaciones sin fines de lucro pueden usar sus horas de voluntariado sin que usted tenga que hacer trabajo quizás de levantar cosas pesadas y ese tipo de trabajo.
So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to order 40 hours of community service instead of your fines,
En vez de que usted pague.
and give you 2 months to see if you can get that done. And set this for a review on our next court date, which will be
May 15th.
May 15th, I believe.
Dice que quizás la corte
See how many hours of community service you can get done between now and then.
puede hacer esas 40 horas para esa fecha que tiene que venir usted otra vez aquí a comprobar que hizo estas horas de 40 horas de servicio comunitario para mayo. How can I complete those hours?
You can contact any charity.
Cualquier organización.
Any church.
De lucro,
So you could, I don't know if you're familiar with our local organization, FERC,
conocer
Family
cualquier
Intercultural
organización,
Resource Center.
la organización
They
local
take volunteers.
que
If
se
you're a
llama
member
FERC.
of a church, you can
Puede
volunteer
ir a una
there.
iglesia, puede ir a esa
You
organización
can volunteer to daycare.
puede hacer voluntariado en una guardería,
You can
cualquier
volunteer
lugar
for the
que sea
Salvation Army or the Red Cross.
sin fines de lucro.
Any charity
La
that
Cruz Roja, el San
the
Miguel,
federal government recognizes as a 501c3 charity.
cualquier organización
do volunteer
que sea
work
sin
for-
fines de lucro, se llaman 501, tienen un número de código esas organizaciones.
So that'll be the change in the sentence.
Esto va a ser el cambio que se le va a hacer a su sentencia. Yes, I'm gonna look for the nonprofit to do my hours.
All right, that'll be the sentence modification. please see my court clerk. She'll give you some paperwork to that effect.
Entonces, estas son las
Do you have a list of the charities?
Ir con la secretaria para que le dé
She'll also give you a list, a partial list of some of the charities available, but we'll accept any charity that is recognized by the government.
para una lista de todas las organizaciones que son disponibles del grupo, las personas que hacen trabajo a las comunidades, ¿entiende?
And you'll have to ask. And you'll have to ask the charities to send us proof that you've been there directly from them to the court clerk.
Y entonces,
She'll explain that to you.
entonces en las organizaciones, cuando usted va a hacer sus horas de voluntario, ellos le van a dar, tienen que dar una hoja para probar aquí a la corte que usted fue y ayudar a trabajar. Yes.
Okay, any questions?
¿Tiene preguntas? Ahorita le preguntamos a la secretaria si quiere, para que entienda. Pero he's asking about next court, that's May.
Correct, May 15th.
He's nervous that he's not gonna be able to complete the hours, maybe.
Well, that's why it's a progress report. I think that's enough time to complete 40 hours. That's 1 week of work in the next 8.
Dice que para el próximo 15 de
So
mayo.
I think that's
presentar aquí como si no terminó las
pretty
horas
easy.
para el centro de fue cuando van sus horas. ¿Ok?
If you think about it, that's like 1 hour a day.
Y si lo piensa, de aquí al 15 de mayo nomás es 1 hora al día que se podría ser voluntario, en vez de tener que pagar el dinero.
Yeah, as long as you make an effort, you know, it doesn't mean you're going, if you don't get it all done by May 15th, doesn't mean you're going to jail, but I want to see how hard you've tried or how much you've accomplished. If you get it all done, it will close your case.
Dice que no quiere decir que para el 15 de mayo ya tiene que haber completado todas sus 40 horas, pero pues quiere ver cuál es su progreso, cómo se ha esforzado usted por hacer esas 40 horas de voluntario. Eso es lo que quiere ver. No quiere decir que si no las hace, va a voluntarse.
But I will keep your case open. You did something here that caused an accident, and you must be accountable for it in some way.
Ser responsable de eso y esta es la opción que le están dando. Hacer sus horas de manera voluntaria.
This is an entry-level court, and we're very reasonable about how we hold people accountable, but everyone ends up being accountable.
Esta corte es como de un nivel de inicio, por decirlo así, y son muy razonables en esta corte, pero sí quieren que todos sean responsables de las cosas que hacen. He just saying that for some reason he's not able to complete the hours that then he's willing to make payments.
Well, if he thinks he can pay this off, I will accept either way. I will give him credit at $20 per hour of volunteer time.
Dice que entonces si usted cree que si tiene dinero para pagar la multa, entonces lo que puede hacer es que le va a dar crédito que por cada hora que usted haga de voluntario, le va a dar crédito de $20, así para que vea cuánto va a juntar de voluntario y cuánto va a pagar.
Or if you can pay these original amounts that he was supposed to pay and get it all done by May 15th, either one will close the case.
O si quiere pagar lo que usted debe, todo el total, también eso cierra su caso, pagarlo con dinero. Ok, entonces usted prefiere pagarlo con dinero. Quiero que lo diga en español, que usted prefiere pagarlo con dinero para yo interpretar. Dígalo.
Pues sí, yo quiero pagarlo con dinero.
I prefer to pay with money.
All right.
I just need more time.
All right, well, I will give you to May 15th to get these amounts paid.
De mayo lo va a pagar todo.
Okay, no hay más que puede estar.
Can I have more time?
How much time do you think you need?
¿Cuánto tiempo cree que necesita?
¿Cuántos meses?
Like 2 more months after May 15.
Well, why don't we'll look at it in June. I don't like to do things more than 3 months out.
No más lo vamos a hacer hasta
And
que
if
no
you're
lo
pretty
podemos
close
hacer
in June,
más
might
de 3 meses.
give you more time, but we'll set it for the June court
Vamos a
meeting.
hacerlo para la corte
So I can look at your progress at that point to see how much you have paid by
y puedo
that
ver tu
time.
progreso a ver qué tanto ha pagado para esa fecha.
But I do expect partial payments between now and June.
Pero yo espero que ya empiece a pagar pagos parciales desde
I
ahora.
don't want you to come in June and say, oh, yes, I'm gonna pay it in another 30 days and not pay anything. I want to see some kind of payment each month.
Yo no quiero que usted venga aquí en junio y diga, ah, no, si ahora se voy a empezar a hacer pagos. Quiero que empiece a hacer pagos desde ahora.
Ok, pero no puedo hacer el 15 de mayo.
Can I do my first payment May 15?
That's fine.
Sí, está bien. Okay.
All right. Please see my court clerk for any other mechanical issues.
Thank you. Thank you.
David Hodges.
He has all the paperwork.
Mr. Hodges, good evening.
Yes.
Sir, you were alleged to have violated model traffic code section 1101, speeding 10 to 19 over the posted limit. I understand the charge.
So.
Maximum penalty is 4 points on your driving record and a possible fine as high as $2,650. Do you understand the possible penalty? You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights?
Thank you.
Do you feel you understand them?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you have a right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
You understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yes, sir.
And I have paperwork that says instead of a trial, you wish to agree with the prosecutor to plead to a 2-point defective vehicle. And it looks like there's no stipulation as to the fine. But the fine will probably be close to the scheduled amount of $140 it originally was. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand by doing that, you are giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there will be no trial, there'll be no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You are giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, or otherwise make you plead guilty against your will? Anybody promise you anything not said in court?
Yes, sir.
Is it your free and voluntary plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now, I've asked all those required questions that are preliminary to telling me how you want to handle the case. How do you plead to the charge of defective vehicle, guilty or not?
Guilty.
I accept the plea, find be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're welcome to make a statement. You're entitled to make a statement, but you're not required to say anything further, anything you want to tell them. All right. I will make the fine $90 because there's $30 court costs and $25 surcharge, which gets you back up to 145, 5 more than the ticket, but you get the benefit of fewer points.
Yes, sir.
Can you pay that today?
Yeah.
Please see my court. Yes.
He'll help you with all.
Sean, is it Visa? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you were alleged to have violated model traffic code section 1204, paragraph 3B. Parking where prohibited by official sign. Do you understand the charge?
Yes.
It's punishable by a fine theoretically as high as $1,000. But no points on your driving record. Do you understand the possible penalty?
Yes, sir.
You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Your chance for legal review of your rights. Do you have any questions about your rights? Do you feel you understand them?
I do.
Do you know what a trial is? You understand you're entitled to a trial.
Indeed.
You understand you're entitled to an attorney.
Yes, sir.
I don't have paperwork telling me anything, so how would you like to? I didn't look thought out perhaps.
I'll plead guilty.
Okay,
I just wanted to ask if I could make like a payment plan.
sure. I have to ask you the required questions, though, even though it's guilty plea to a parking ticket. You understand by pleading guilty, you're giving up all your rights, which means no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, make you plead guilty against your will?
Sir,
Anybody promise you anything not said in court? This is your free and voluntary plea.
it is.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision?
No.
Now we've covered that. How do you plead to the charge?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea, can be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the case? You're welcome to, you're entitled to, but you're not required to.
I just felt like I paid enough already between getting my car towed and getting arrested the same day. I would pay for the ticket, but I would appreciate if it got dismissed.
Okay. The only thing I have is this parking ticket. I don't know, I don't have any information about the arrest or any of that, or the
That's
towing.
okay.
Just
wanted to try my luck.
Sure. What I think I can do, I can't suspend the surcharge, so I impose a surcharge, which is 25. And I'll suspend the court costs, which are 30, and a $1 fine for a total of $26. The original fine was $50.
Oh, okay.
So you're getting a $1 fine, and the surcharge is actually something imposed by ordinance by town council that I technically don't have control over. So it's legally the lowest I can make it, that I'm suspending the court cost to $0. So 26 bucks. Can you pay that?
Yes, sir.
Please see my court clerk. John Masario, did I say your name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. Sir, you're alleged to have violated Frisco Town Ordinance Section 127-1 harassment. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes.
Ordinances are punishable by a theoretical maximum of up to $2,650 in a possible jail term of up to 364 days in jail. Do you understand the maximum possible penalty?
Yes.
You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights?
I do.
Do you have any questions about those rights? Do you feel you understand them?
Yes.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes.
You understand you're entitled to a trial, and you understand that you're entitled to an attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm looking to see if I have anything that tells me what we're doing. The last page here says you wish to enter into a deferred judgment agreement. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You understand the way that works is that you're expected to state a plea of guilty to the original charge. However, that guilty plea will go into a temporary court record we call a deferred record. If you satisfy and complete the conditions of this, which appear to be simply not to have any other criminal violations of the law. There's not even a required class, which is sometimes required. So simply to stay out of trouble, that at the end of 6 months, which is shorter than normal by 6 months, that the case will be dismissed and by Colorado statute will be sealed from public view. So as far as the public would know, it didn't happen. On the other hand, if at any time it's alleged you violated these conditions, that is, you were convicted of some other crime, you'd be summoned back to court for a hearing about whether that was true. If it was found you violated the conditions, then this guilty plea would move to the permanent record and you'd be subject to being resentenced. It could still face the original penalties I just described. Do you think you understand that procedure?
Mostly, but I guess my question is after 6 months, that there will be no, this won't be on the record.
That's correct. It'll be sealed is the Colorado legal term for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legislature passed a statute, you automatically get sealed on deferreds in municipal courts now. Any other questions about the procedure or the rights so
No.
far? All right. You understand by pleading guilty, you are giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, there'll be no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You are giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney.
Yes, I understand.
Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, or otherwise make you plead guilty against your will?
No,
If I promise you anything not said in court, is this your free and voluntary plea?
yes,
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? And now that we've covered all that, how do you plead to the charge of harassment, guilty or not?
guilty.
Court accepts your plea, but defers it, find you freely, voluntarily, and knowingly. You are entitled to and welcome to make a statement either about what happened or what the penalty should be, but you're not required to say anything further. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Oh, no, I was just doing my job that night. Ex-Officer Wilson interpreted, what was going on there in such a way that he did. That's why I'm standing here in front of you, but, yeah, I don't know if you looked at the whole picture.
No, I don't read police reports ahead of time because if I have to do the trial, I don't want to be biased by it. So I will take a quick look at that at this point. But,
I actually left the store because before I called this officer to come and help me, so it's my job to do that. I'm transporting hazardous materials, Circle K, here in Frisco.
okay.
We're supposed to report to authorities, suspicious behavior, off-duty store clerk, claimed to be a manager, was actually an assistant. I'm not even sure he's still at the store. He upon my arrival, he started recording me, which is against company policy, which your department is using against me. But I arrived at the store and he was following me around with his cell phone videotaping me. And I ended up leaving because, this is out of the ordinary. And I got on the highway and my dispatcher was begging me to go back to the store, and that this employee that was recording me before I called the police was going to cooperate. So I went back to the store. Of course, he didn't cooperate. Here I am. All I did was walk up to this clerk and ask him to stop recording me. Never made any threats or anything, which doesn't line up with what your officer wrote in the statement. But
So the accusation is you were chest thumping him.
no,
I'm just telling you what's in the report.
well, what's in the report is that our fabrics from, each of our shirts touch each other, but, who's to say, the fabric that, that our
Well, it's
his
certainly
jacket or my jacket touching each other. I mean, is that a result of the wind, or maybe this erratic behaving clerk who's off duty and living in his expedition in the parking lot, blocking my access to drop fuel for the Frisco residents that, want to get fuel.
Sure.
I could easily take this trial. It's just ridiculous.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that people take the business solution to how to resolve this in a way that is the least hassle.
I've been in trouble in my life. I have law enforcement officers in my family.
Sure. All right. Well, I appreciate what you've had to tell me, and this certainly will keep you a clean record.
Okay.
There is a $100 deferred judgment, so,
No problem.
and if you'll see my court clerk.
Thank you.
Is it Dave Osron? How do you say your name, sir?
Dawudi, Maher Dawudi.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
Please. Sir, you were alleged to have violated model traffic code section 703, failure to stop at a stop sign. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
If the model traffic code violation is punishable by a possible fine as high as $2,650 and 4 points on your driving record. Do you understand the possible penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your legal rights?
I'm not too clear on.
I have this advisement of rights form. Is that your signature?
Yes.
That's what I'm referring to. Did you get a chance to read and review that? Or do you need more time to read that?
I read that.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
I guess not, I was gonna try to get help explain more opportunities that.
Sure, and I'm certainly willing to continue this for you to get an attorney, but I normally finish the advisement, so let me get through the checklist, and then we can postpone this to our next court session, for you a chance to do that. Any specific questions at this time? Do you think you reasonably understand these rights at this time?
Yes, sir.
You know what a trial is,
Yes, yes, sir.
and you understand you have a right to a trial. And you have the right to have an attorney.
Yes.
Okay. And I understand that is, your request at this time is to, put this off to our next court session so you can consult with them.
Yes, sir.
All right. We will do that. Our next court is not until May 15th. So let me just note your file here. All right, we will see you May 15th at 5.
Is it 4:30 or 5?
You can come at 5 because you've already been advised. All right, please see my court clerk for a reminder to meet. Alexis Martinez. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, you were alleged to have violated Model Traffic Code Section 1101, speeding 20 to 39 miles an hour over the posted limit, specifically 55 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Do you understand the nature of the charge? And I should note, it's less than 25 over is a Class 2 or Class B traffic misdemeanor. This is just a traffic infraction. The maximum penalty on this is 6 points on your driving record, and a possible fine as high as $2,650. Do you understand the maximum penalty? You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Did you have a chance to read and review your legal rights? Do you have any questions about those rights? Do you feel you understand them?
Yes.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes.
You understand you have the right to a trial? Yes. You understand you have the right to hire an attorney on a traffic?
Yes.
I don't have any notes as to how we're going to handle this, so tell me what you'd like to do.
To file a continuance.
Okay. Find the right place to note that on here. All right, we'll see you May 15th.
Sure. May I request a copy of the court date?
Yes, that's, you see my clerk and she'll give you a reminder.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Carla Williams. Ma'am, you are alleged to have violated Model Traffic Code Section 1101, speeding 20 to 39 miles an hour over the posted limit, specifically 55 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Do you understand the charge?
I do, sir.
The possible maximum penalty is up to 6 points on your driving records, and a possible fine of up to $2,650. Because this is less than 25 miles an hour over the posted limit, there's no jail penalty associated with this. Do you understand the penalty?
I do, Your Honor.
You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you have a chance to read and review your legal rights?
Yes,
Do you have any questions about your legal rights?
I do not.
I'm sorry,
I do not.
you do not?
No,
Okay, what do you not understand?
I thought you said, do you have any questions? And I said, no, sir, I do not.
Oh, I'm, all right. Maybe I've lost track of what I'm doing. All right, you don't have any questions about your rights. You feel you understand. All right. All right, now we're clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know what a trial is?
I do.
And you understand you have a right to a trial.
Yes.
You understand you have a right to hire an attorney.
Yes.
I don't have any paperwork telling me what you want to do, so tell
I'm looking for a continuance.
me. Okay. We'll have you back in May with everybody else. May 15th at 5.
I will be here.
Very good. Please see my court book for a reminder.
Thank you, sir.
That appears to conclude our docket.
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
Prosecutor, on Mr. Herrera's case, the victim decided not to seek restitution, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with the victim and she had doubts about really the viability of seeking restitution and the defendant's ability to pay. And she decided that it wasn't worth her time and she just had a deductible amount.
Okay, people are entitled to do that.
Yeah, I asked her for written confirmation of this a couple times over the phone. And she just kind of, I guess, never got around to it. I am not too worried
People
about.
think their time's more valuable than
Yeah.
documenting our files.
I'm not too worried about her making a fuss about it.
Well, and, you know, as long as she knows that we lose jurisdiction and restitution after 91 days.
I explained that
It
to
doesn't
her
matter.
on 3 occasions.
Very good. Then
So-
I think everybody's covered.
Yeah, and she got a letter from me too,
Oh, excellent.
on top of the call, so.
All right, very good. Appreciate your thoroughness. All right, that concludes our docket at 5:37. Might be close to a record. I think our record's 5:11. Have a pleasant drive, nice sunny drive home.
Yeah, I got Bucks basketball tonight, so
Oh, all right.
I'll be
Whoa.
watching that.
March Madness?
Yeah. I haven't even seen you in so long. I got engaged on Christmas, so yeah.
See, last I knew you were going on your little tropical trip.
Yeah, the tropical trip, we had a little dinner on the cruise ship and
Set the right mood, huh?
I proposed and, you know,
Oh,
we
it's
were,
so romantic.
my
isn't it?
family was like